Matthew? Our parents are planning to meet in another hour or so for the first time, right? But your parents are telling me that they haven't been able to get a hold of you all morning. And right now, they're really worried about where you are. That's why I'm texting you now. And I just tried giving you a call a few minutes ago, but you didn't even pick up. I hope that you're okay right now, and will be here in time for when our parents finally meet. Can you at least tell me where you are? I'm going to go and get my parents now and bring them out, so I'd better see you with your parents when it's time.
What's up? Wendy? Ah, that's right. Today's the day we're supposed to be introducing our parents to each other. That's not good.
Matthew, what the hell has been going on with you? You haven't been responding to any of us, and we've been worried sick.
I'm sorry. I've been driving for a couple hours now and had no time to look at my phone.
What? Are you on your way to come meet us all here now?
Well, about that. I completely forgot that our parents are meeting each other today, and so I'm on my way to a ski resort to have a bit of fun for a couple of days.
You're heading to a ski resort? The day before yesterday, you and I were literally on the phone with each other talking about our parents' meeting.
You called me way too early in the morning, and I was half asleep talking to you. I don't even remember half of that. I was probably thinking it was some sort of dream. Sorry.
Seriously? Well then, what are we going to do about today?
The only option now is to cancel the plans we made.
This isn't something that I can just cancel right now. We are supposed to all be meeting right now, so it's way too sudden. And right now, we're here at the place we plan on getting married at, so I was hoping this would be a great place to have everyone meet and chat.
But listen, when it comes to you and I getting married, we're going to need the permission from our parents to do that first, right? Having them all meet and talk about us getting married at the place we want to have our wedding at is a bit too crazy for my parents. I don't think it will leave a good impression.
But canceling this whole meetup right when we're all showing up is even more crazy, and neither of our parents are going to approve of that from you.
Ah, that's a good point. And what's even worse is that you already reserved that place for the 6 of us to have dinner, so canceling now means you'll still have to pay. But hey, you don't have to get too worried about the hefty price for canceling, because our parents can handle it for us.
You shouldn't even be thinking of that right now, Matthew. It's not about the money, but the fact that you forgot about this very important plan and aren't going to show up for it.
Yeah, I'll take care of paying for that place so you can stop worrying about it. You know that marrying me means you'll be getting a lot of money from me, so you don't have to get so upset over something as cheap as that place.
What? You think you'll be bringing me a lot of money in this marriage? What are you talking about?
No matter what you try and do about today, I'm already way out of town and won't be able to come back in time to see you all. If I turned around right now, I'd be back in town later tonight, which is way too late, right?
Seriously? By the way, why the hell did you even go on a ski trip today anyway? Even if you did forget about the meeting our parents and us were supposed to have today, isn't it a bit too sudden for you to be going on a trip like that without telling me?
Right. Well, I chose to go on this trip pretty quickly. Originally, my friend was planning to go on this trip with another one of their friends, but that friend ended up having another plan get in the way, so I was invited to go last minute. My friend said that instead of having to cancel the whole trip, it'd just be easier to have me join.
And so, instead of looking at what plans you already had for today, you just decided to tag along with that friend without any second thoughts?
I'm sorry. But since I'm on this ski trip right now, we'll have to do this whole parents meeting thing another day.
Another day? Aren't you being just a little too careless about our relationship right now?
But I'm saying you don't have to get so worked up over what happened. I'm your fiancé, and I'm saying that it's going to be fine, so you shouldn't have any complaints, right?
Right. That's the kind of person I should have expected you to be. All right, then. I'll tell our parents that you're not going to be making it here today. And I'd like you to sort all of this out with your parents later, okay?
Okay. I'm so close to the resort now, so I'll see you later.
Hey, Wendy. Just because you had one date canceled on you, that doesn't mean you can keep complaining about it over and over again, okay? Emma? It's been a while. The last time I think the two of us talked with one another was years ago at our class reunion, just after we both turned 21, right? And what's this about having a date canceled? Just a second ago, I was talking with Matthew about that whole situation of yours. I am finally able to go on this ski trip with him. So can you stop getting all upset with him and in the way of our trip? What? Hold on a sec. What? The person that Matthew said invited him out to go to that ski resort was you? Yeah, it was me. Is there anyone else on that trip with you guys? Nope. It's just him and I sharing a room together at this ski resort. Huh? Well, you shouldn't be getting that upset about it, right? The two of us are just enjoying a little vacation together. Listen, Wendy, you need to be more careful about having Matthew on a leash like that. If you keep trying to hold him by your side all the time, he's only going to try harder to break free. It was just one date that he had to cancel on suddenly. And he only did that so he could go on a small trip with another woman. This isn't something to be so worked up over, and you should try to be a bit more lenient with him and his choices, okay? He even told me that he wants a more relaxed relationship. Today, he canceled on a date with me? Look at what you're doing. You're trying to pick at every word I say like some kind of maniac. We didn't have any plans to go out on a date today, though. We'd only planned on having our parents meet face-to-face at lunch today before we get married. Huh? Wait, are you really trying to restrain Matthew that much that you're willing to marry him and keep him all to yourself? Oh my God, you're already at the worst stage of being a greedy girlfriend. Whether you think I'm trying to restrain him or not, the only reason that we were supposed to have this meeting today is so our parents could see how happy we are together. But to tell you the truth, our whole relationship started because his parents introduced me to him. Huh? Emma, I've known you as the type of girl that finds joy in stealing other women's boyfriends and playing around with their feelings. And I'm sure that even this time you plan on doing exactly the same thing with Matthew. But Emma, you are an employee for one of the companies that Matthew's dad's company works together with, right? So, based on your position within that company, you're going to start a very bad situation between everyone involved.
Wendy, why didn't you say something about all of this earlier to me? Your grandpa? He's one of my dad's company's biggest shareholders?
Well, if that weren't the case, would you not be texting me right now?
I just assumed that because your dad only works as a factory floorman, my parents were leagues above yours, making me the far more powerful person in our relationship.
So that's what all of that was about. A little while back, you said that me marrying you meant that I'd be getting a lot of your money. What you thought of our parents is the reason why you were saying that then.
Not telling me about all of this before is ridiculous of you.
Wait, why is that ridiculous of me? As your father's son and the one expected to be taking over his company when he retires, you've been joining him at all of those meetings with his shareholders, right? And I know that you've already met my grandparents before. So you should have noticed my dad always sitting in on those meetings with your dad and the other shareholders, and gotten a pretty good idea of who my family is, right? Heck, I've even talked with you before about how your parents are pretty close to my grandpa, right?
Huh?
Did you know that I am also aware of your dad's company needing me to marry you to save it? At the moment, his company isn't doing so well, but your dad thinks that by having me marry you, it'll help make his company look more suitable for my grandpa and other shareholders to put more money into. Well, all of that aside, you have really messed up, Matthew. While we were supposed to have a very important lunch with all our parents finally being able to meet, you went off to a ski resort, leaving us all behind, and proceeded to cheat on me. In other words, showing me that you don't want to marry me. That's not good, Matthew.
I'd like you to hold on for a couple seconds. I'm sure that you're even aware that us humans are not perfect, and every so often we can act on our bad consciences, right? So,
I know what?
I didn't mean to actually do any of that, and It was just a slip-up.
If you're waiting for me to say that I'll forgive you, or that I'll forget something like this ever happened between us, you're going to be waiting a very long time.
Wait,
Well, if that's not it, then what should I know, Matthew?
well, if you don't stay together with me and get married, then my dad is going to let my older sister have the company and I'll get nothing when he retires. So please, Wendy, can you please stop thinking that I don't want to marry you anymore after what happened? I'll even be willing to pay you some kind of settlement, and as for Emma, I'll make sure that things between me and her look like they never even happened.
Don't worry, as I already know that you'll be paying for whatever settlement I ask for. And as for Emma, you can continue whatever shallow romance you had with her.
Then this means you're going to forgive me, right?
That's not at all what any of this means. By the way, Matthew, wasn't it already known that your older sister would be taking your dad's place after he retires? I could have sworn that's what everyone had been talking about in those meetings before.
What?
I never even heard from anyone about you being the one to take your dad's place as the CEO of that company. And even my grandpa is saying that he's going to have your sister take his place.
Huh?
And now that I've mentioned that, there is some bad news for Emma as well. Emma is an employee for one of the companies that works together with your dad's company as a customer, and the news of her having a secret relation with you, even though you have a fiancé, is beginning to spread. And what's even worse is the money used to take you both on that little ski trip was money from the company she's working for. The company is now asking for her to stay home and not come into work as they investigate what's going on.
You know about that as well?
Well, if you're willing to cheat on me with one of your dad's customers' employees, then I don't think you even have a chance at becoming the next CEO.
What's going to happen to me then?
Don't try asking me a question like that, because I have no clue. But just know that the two of us are no longer getting married. I'm going to have a lawyer begin talking with you about the steps following this, so make sure to keep your eyes and ears open for when they come to talk to you.
Are you kidding me? Are you not even going to bother giving me one more chance to make this all up to you?
Actually, I've had enough of being your fiancé and girlfriend. What you've done this past week or so has really worn me and my emotions down, and I just don't have it in me anymore to be around you. So there's no reason for me to give you a second chance. And even now it's killing me to have to text you.
Wendy!
Goodbye, Matthew. Why do I have to pay you any kind of settlement now? And not just that, but I'm going to have to be fired for what happened as well? I was really only wanting you to talk with my lawyer about this, Emma. I have to come face to face with you about this so that you know just how pissed off I am about everything. I'm sure that I already know all the details about you and Matthew as I've heard enough from him about it. But that trip you took with Matthew to the ski resort? You used money from the company you work for to pay for that whole trip, right? So, do you now see doing something like that as a good reason for your employer to fire you? Huh? What do you know about that? Normally, someone like me wouldn't know a thing about that, but I am in touch with both Matthew and his family, so I learn all kinds of things about what's going on within your guys' worlds. And after learning that Matthew had been cheating on me, there was no reason to not go searching for answers as to why and how it was all happening. What the heck? I know that I'm only watching all of this take place from outside, but getting upset at me for what you both did is not going to get you anywhere closer to being forgiven by your employer, or Matthew's family. And as for that settlement, that has nothing to do with me either, so I'm not even going to comment on it. What? That is all something you and Matthew need to talk about, right? You did things you're not supposed to do, with someone who is the son of a CEO your employer works with. Complaining to me about what's happened and what's going to happen will not change things for you, and is a bit annoying for me. Then if you're not the problem, you can at least help me. I have nothing to do with your problems now. I'm being asked to pay a settlement, but if I'm fired, I won't have the money to. Not having any kind of employment at this moment in my life where money matters most is just horrible. But what I've been trying to say is that you coming to me about all that isn't going to do you any good. I'm not even the one asking for your money right now, because I believe that you did all of that with Matthew not knowing that he's been engaged to me. So please stop complaining to me. But I don't have any money. I seriously have no idea what I'm going to do now. For starters, Matthew's father's company and the factory that my dad works in still have a contract that they'll continue to hold. And my grandpa is still waiting to be the primary shareholder for his dad's company. And as for Matthew cheating on me and ruining any chance of getting married to me, we've decided to try our best to keep the whole situation private and out of as many ears as possible. And as for Matthew himself, he had to choose between being completely kicked out of his family or having to find work of his own from now on with no hopes of having anything to do with his dad's company. And in the end, he chose the latter. And as for the money he got for leaving his position within his dad's company, it was all given to me as a settlement. And when it comes to what happened after leaving his dad's company, his parents kicked him out of their house and had him moved into an apartment. Emma suffered pretty much the same fate as Matthew. However, instead, she didn't receive any money. Instead, she was fired from the company and had to use whatever money she had left to pay off the settlement to her ex-employers. This left her with a total of $0, and that was followed by her parents kicking her out of their house. After the two of them took so much damage after what they'd done, they both decided it'd be better to stay together rather than break up. So Matthew took Emma into his apartment to live together. However, that apartment was very old and the walls very thin. They always get into massive fights there about money and who messed up more, leading to lots of complaints from other tenants. It's only a matter of time until their landlord kicks them out of there, and they'll really have to start again with nothing. Thank you for watching and listening.